What's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. In this video we are gonna talk about the new legendary hero coming this Friday in the Miracle Wishes, EATHUR, and also we are gonna talk about the new epic one, Hardai. Tell me in the comment below how do you pronounce it, Hardai. So let's talk about them. Okay, so the first one, EATHUR, is really hard, another hard hero to understand the skills. This is so crazy. He has a lot of things to read, he has 2 different forms, he can do many things and it's really hard to understand, but let's try to do it, to explain it simply. So, this is a legendary hero from the new faction, the Hidden Wave, a defense unit and with the blue mark. He's gonna be interesting in terms of PvP, I think, and maybe in PvE, who knows, because he has some kind of interesting feature to protect your heroes. So first of all, let's talk about the basic attack. No, let's talk about the passive. He has 2 different passive, but the most important one is the form transformation. At the beginning of the wave, he's gonna enter his second form, the Seahorse Knight, during which he's gonna summon a Seahorse. The Seahorse will have the same HP as EATHUR, and he is gonna tank damage for him. If the Seahorse dies, yeah, this is so complicated because it's written here. If the Seahorse dies, lose all HP, then instead of dying, he's gonna deal some death damage to all enemies, to the attacker, and transfer all the debuffs to the attacker, and with a chance to stun the target for 1 turn, and he is gonna exit the second form, the Seahorse Knight, to come back to the previous form. Really hard to understand. So when he enters the second form, Seahorse Knight, there is a Seahorse tanking the damage for him until he dies, and also he's gonna apply ally protection on all your heroes, and so they are gonna share some part of the damage taken with the Seahorse until the Seahorse dies. This is a really interesting feature though, because you get that at the beginning of the wave, so you can tank, and if you see your Seahorse dies, then you are still alive. This is looking pretty strong. And also when he is in the second form, he is immune to all control effects, and this is giving to him a huge advantage. Okay, this is a huge advantage. Okay, so here, if he's on the basic form, at the beginning of each turn, he's gonna get a certain layers of power of ocean, and when he reaches a certain number of power of ocean, he's gonna transform in the second form, and he's gonna remove all the debuffs from self, restore some HP, and enters the Seahorse Knight by summoning the Seahorse. So this is how does it work. So now let's talk about the active skills. Basic attack, he's gonna deal damage to a single enemy, and if he's in the second form, he's also gonna reduce the target's defense by 60%. On the first active skill, if he's in the basic form, he is gonna enhance his weapon, and so he is gonna be able to counterattack the target, and he's gonna get more layers of power of ocean when using the basic attack here. So he's gonna transform faster. If he's in the second form, he's gonna deal defense damage to a single enemy and inflicts Thunder Imprint for 3 turns, and when the target with Thunder Imprint is under basic attack or skill damage, it's gonna reduce his turn meta, so that means every hero hitting the target under Thunder Imprint is gonna reduce the target's turn meta. It seems super strong though. So when the target has specified layer of Thunder Mark, you put 1 layer of Thunder Mark every time the target under Thunder Print is getting attacked with a basic attack or a skill attack, okay? Then when a target has a certain amount of Thunder Mark on him, or at the end of Thunder Imprint's duration, then EATHUR is gonna trigger Thunder Imprint, removing all the buffs from the target and dealing some defense damage to the target. Pretty nice. Imagine that in PvP, you are gonna remove all the buffs passively to the target, and this is so strong. This is so strong. For every 1 layer of debuff owned by the target, you're gonna deal more damage with Thunder Imprint and get some piercing rate, so maybe you are gonna deal a lot of damage with that. We don't know about the coefficient yet, so who knows. And refreshes the cooldown of a Leaping Swipe when Thunder Imprint is triggered in advance. Pretty strong. So now let's have a look to the exclusive. So first one, when he is under Seahorse 9 status, all allies gain Seahorse's protection, and so they are gonna have a 25% of the defense of EATHUR. This is so powerful. Imagine you have that at the beginning of the wave, you have a unique death buff on your heroes and an ally protection protected by a Seahorse, so this is not your main hero. This is so powerful. So maybe he's gonna be insane, really great in your team against the highest dungeons in the game. This is looking promising at least. So second exclusive, when he's gonna exceed the Seahorse 9 status, that means your Seahorse died, then the Seahorse will remove all the buffs from the target before dealing damage. So you remove all the buffs from the target, you put all your debuffs from your Seahorse to the target, and you deal some damage, and then the stun effect cannot be blocked or cleansed. That means you doesn't need to have some effect hit on your hero to stun the target, and even if the target has a block debuff, you can stun him. This is really strong. But remember that AhkTaar immune the target from taking controls, so it's not gonna work against AhkTaar immunity. And afterward, cast Lightning Overload instantly. This is the first active skill here. So you are gonna enhance directly your weapon, get the counter attack, and get more power of Ocean. Pretty strong, right? And then the last one, third exclusive, when he is not under Seahorse 9 status, if an ally deals basic attack damage or skill damage, either gains certain layers of power of Ocean, so he's gonna transform faster, and when either has specified layers of power of Ocean and enters his second form, he will steal all enemies' buffs, excluding attribute buffs. If they have shields, if they have stealth, immortal, damage immunity, etc., you are gonna steal every buffs. This is so freaking powerful for PvP. And you are also gonna steal all the turn meta of the targets. If they have 99% turn meta, you are gonna steal everything and get an extra turn. This is probably game changer for PvP. This is looking really powerful. Tell me what do you think about that in the comment below, but this hero looks pretty strong, right? And he looks pretty cute. This is a child, one of the only child we have in the game, so why not? So now let's talk about the other hero, the epic one, Hardy, I don't know. It's an epic hero from the Eternal Sect, an attacker 1 with the force mark. On the basic attack, he's gonna target a single enemy with the chance to reduce the defense by 30% for 2 turns. It's not a great reduction. On the first active skill, he's gonna transfer all his attribute debuffs to the target, one target, and deal some attack damage to them. The damage of this skill increases for each type of attribute debuffs the target has. Okay, so the more the debuffs you can put on the enemy, attribute debuffs, the better. We don't have many attribute debuffs in this faction, so maybe it's useless for the faction Abyss. Maybe in PvP if you want to play an epic hero, but he seems a bit weak to be played in PvP, to be honest. On the passive, he's gonna get steal for 2 turns when his HP is lower than 30% and gain damage immunity, and his turn meta cannot be reduced for 1 turn. So more survivability thanks to that passive, interesting. And then on the ultimate, he's gonna target all enemies, dealing some attack damage, and it's gonna deal 30% more damage to enemies with an attribute debuff at least. Okay. We don't know the coefficient yet, and it's an epic hero, so probably he's not gonna deal a lot of damage. Exclusive number 1. He's gonna transfer all the debuffs from self to the target and inflict save a wound on them for 2 turns on the first active skill here, on a single target. Okay, why not? Not really strong. A Severe Wound, maybe for PvP it can be useful, but you have so many heroes who can cleanse your debuffs, maybe it's not gonna be great. And against Gwyneth, this is the only boss on which we need a Severe Wound. I doubt that hero is gonna be interesting. Second exclusive, he has a chance to reduce all enemies' effect resistance by 25% for 2 turns at the beginning of each wave. It can help reduce the resistance of enemies at the beginning of the wave can help a lot, and even in PvP it can be interesting for the Brave Trial. If you want to reduce the resistance of enemies with Pauline, Nicholas, etc., it's gonna be really interesting probably. But today we have also Lydia, and the meta changed, so in Brave Trial it's getting harder. And finally, exclusive 3 on the ultimate, extend the duration of all debuffs excluding control effects, for 1 turn. This is interesting if you're playing with dots or attribute debuffs. You can increase the duration by 1 turn using the ultimate on all enemies. It can be really interesting. So he is a decent hero, but I doubt players are gonna use him, to be honest. So tell me what you think about that. That epic hero is interesting, but kinda niche and a bit weak to be played in PvP and PvE. And the other hero, EATHUR, looks pretty strong to protect your heroes with the defense, his unique defense buff to your heroes, the ally protection by the seahorse, and everything he can do, and also for PvP to steal buffs if you have the exclusive 3, to steal the entire turn meta of enemies and self-counter attack, deal some damage. He looks pretty promising. Tell me what you think about that in the comment below. I hope you enjoyed the video. If it's the case, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and then see you in the next one. Bye bye.